lesson number 19. I don't know if it's called lesson or whether it's activity number 19 for Get Your Shit Together. And I thought I'd take the opportunity to just drop in and say a quick hello and say fantastic, great that you're going as well as you are and keeping up the pace. However, I think today's activity might look on the surface like it's a pretty simple thing, but I want to have a quick chat with you about what some of the depth of it might be, because when someone comes up to you and does give you the look or the comment that's derogatory and says oh, so you think you're making progress, or how long is this going to last, or whatever. And of course it could be anything. It could be I first got it when I stopped smoking. I said to someone, I stopped smoking the other day, and they go, oh, yeah, that won't last. So doesn't matter what the subject is. Usually when you're talking about moving yourself forward, there'll be someone in your community who's not too happy about it's got some negative comment to make, even if they think they're just being funny. And sometimes the motivation can just be that, they just want to make a joke. What's important for us is to understand, firstly, their motivation, and secondly, what we do about it. So first of all, understand that their motivation is about being uncomfortable. The truth is, when you move forward, the people who are around you at the moment are comfortable with you as you are. So as you lift your life up to the next level, don't expect that absolutely everybody's going to be gleefully excited about that. You are going to get some comments that are based around fears of loss. That those people feel like that you're making them not as good as you, that you're telling them that somehow or other they should be getting on with it as well. All sorts of negative interpretations of your progress. So when you do get the inevitable negative comment, the first thing you need to do for yourself is remind yourself that that comes from their position, not yours. That we shouldn't automatically just go, oh yeah, you're right. It says more about the person making the negative comment than it does about you. But of course we allow it to be about us. And that's the second part of this issue, is how do I allow it to be about me? Well, the truth is a small part of you agrees. So a small part of you feels like, maybe they are right, maybe I'm not going to keep this up. I have failed at other things. There's other things that I've tried and not succeeded. And so the part of you that regrets your past failures is going to speak up nice and loud at that point. I think it's critically important that you deal with the truth, and that is admit that yes, in the past you have failed, but on this occasion that you choose to keep going, and that you remind yourself that every single little step is worth it. So from that perspective, I think the process or the technique that you can use best of all when you hear those negative comments is, first of all, acknowledge where it comes from in the other person. So that's just a mental conversation with yourself about that comes from their position of lack and they're doing the best they can. It's almost worth saying to yourself, is that the best you can do? Because it allows you to see that it's meant as an attack or felt by you as an attack, but you're saying, by saying, is that the best you can do, that's not a very successful one. The second is to mentally rate your reaction. So as you have a response to it, just ask yourself on a scale from 0 to 10, did that hurt like 2 or did that hurt like 7? It's kind of pretty important that we respond to our own responses rather than the ones coming in from outside. Now the trick to that, what that means is when you say to yourself, well that felt like a 4 or a 10, then what you're doing is you're staying in observer mode. What you're doing is you're admitting the truth, but you're observing rather than participating. And the big trick there is when you're observing instead of participating, you're able to shift your view of it because you're not embroiled in it. So that's my hint or tip or idea for today to take along with your assignment, is use those mental skills to back yourself, understanding that the inevitable is going to happen. Sooner or later someone's going to say something negative, and in fact if they don't, maybe you're not trying hard enough. That's it for today. I'll talk to you soon.